In the heart of a desolate countryside stood the forsaken manor, its once grand walls now crumbling and overgrown with ivy. The air hung heavy with a sense of dread, as though the very earth itself recoiled from the horrors that lurked within. I, a curious adventurer seeking thrills in the unknown, stumbled upon the manor one fateful evening, drawn by whispers of its haunted past. Little did I know that my curiosity would lead me down a path of terror from which there would be no escape. As I approached the manor, a chill wind whispered through the trees, sending shivers down my spine. The moon hung low in the sky, casting long shadows that seemed to dance with malevolent intent. With trepidation, I pushed open the creaking gate and stepped into the overgrown garden. The air was thick with the scent of decay, and the silence of the night was broken only by the sound of my own footsteps echoing against the crumbling walls. As I ventured deeper into the manor, the darkness seemed to close in around me, suffocating me with its oppressive weight. Shadows danced along the walls, twisting and contorting into grotesque shapes that seemed to watch my every move. And then, from the darkness, came a sound, a soft whisper, barely audible yet filled with an unmistakable sense of malice. It seemed to come from all around me, surrounding me like a suffocating fog. With growing unease, I pressed on, determined to uncover the truth behind the manor's haunting. But with each step, the whispers grew louder, their words twisting and distorting into chilling echoes that reverberated through my mind. Suddenly, I found myself standing before a door, its ancient wood warped and weathered with age. With trembling hands, I pushed it open and stepped into the darkness beyond. What greeted me was a sight too horrifying to comprehend, a room bathed in an ethereal glow, its walls adorned with faded portraits that seemed to watch me with hollow eyes. And in the center of the room stood a figure, a spectral apparition, its form shifting and shimmering like smoke in the night. With a blood-curdling scream, I turned and fled from the manor, the echoes of the whispers following me every step of the way. As I burst out into the night air, I knew that I had narrowly escaped the clutches of the forsaken manor, but I also knew that its horrors would haunt me forevermore. And so, I left behind the haunted halls of the forsaken manor, but the darkness that dwelled within them would follow me wherever I went, a reminder that some secrets are best left buried in the shadows, and some nightmares are too real to ever truly escape. As I fled into the night, my heart pounding in my chest and my breath ragged, I could feel the weight of the manor's curse pressing down upon me like a suffocating fog. Each step felt like a desperate attempt to outrun the shadows that threatened to consume me whole. But even as I put distance between myself and the forsaken manor, I knew that its horrors would follow me wherever I went. The whispers lingered in the air, their chilling words echoing in my mind long after I had left the crumbling walls behind. In the days that followed, I found myself plagued by nightmares, visions of twisted figures lurking in the darkness, their eyes burning with an otherworldly light. Sleep became a fleeting refuge, for even in the safety of my own bed, I could feel the presence of something malevolent lurking just beyond the edge of my consciousness. Try as I might to forget, the memory of that night haunted me, a constant reminder of the darkness that dwelled within the forsaken manor. I knew that I would never be able to truly escape its grasp, that its curse would follow me to the ends of the earth. And so, I lived in fear, forever haunted by the whispers from the shadows, knowing that some nightmares are too real to ever truly escape. As a budding photographer eager to capture the eerie beauty of abandoned places, I convinced my friend, Sarah, to accompany me to an old mansion rumored to be haunted. Our plan was to document the decrepit interiors for a blog post, unaware of the nightmare that awaited us within its walls. The mansion loomed before us like a relic from another era, its once grand architecture now crumbling and overgrown with ivy. Despite the ominous atmosphere, we were undeterred, our excitement overshadowing any sense of caution. As we stepped inside, The air grew thick with dust and decay, and the temperature seemed to plummet, sending a chill down my spine. Sarah and I exchanged nervous glances, but our determination to capture the perfect photograph pushed us forward. With cameras in hand, we ventured deeper into the mansion, the floorboards creaking beneath our feet with each step. The rooms were shrouded in darkness, illuminated only by the soft glow of our flashlights, casting long shadows that seemed to dance along the walls. As we explored, I couldn't shake the feeling that we were being watched, that unseen eyes followed our every move from the darkness. Sarah must have felt it too, for she clutched my arm tightly, her breath coming in shallow gasps. Suddenly, a door slammed shut behind us, sending us both jumping in fright. We spun around, but there was no one there, just empty corridors stretching out in every direction, their shadows seeming to reach out for us with ghostly fingers. Determined to press on, we made our way to the grand staircase, its ornate banister twisted and worn with age. But as we reached the top, a cold wind swept through the hallway, extinguishing our flashlights in an instant. In the darkness, I could hear Sarah's panic breathing, her hand trembling in mine. And then, from the shadows, came a sound, a soft whisper, barely audible yet filled with a sense of malevolence. With mounting dread, we turned to flee, but the door at the bottom of the staircase had vanished, leaving us trapped in the darkness. Panic set in as we realized that we were not alone, that something sinister lurked within the mansion's walls. And then, with a blood-curdling scream, Sarah vanished before my eyes, swallowed up by the darkness. Desperate to find her, I stumbled blindly through the mansion, my heart pounding in my chest as the whispers grew louder and more insistent. But no matter how hard I searched, Sarah was nowhere to be found. With a heavy heart, I realized that I was alone, trapped in a nightmare from which there would be no escape. And so, I fled from the mansion, leaving behind the shadows of the forgotten and the memory of my friend lost to the darkness. But even as I left, I knew that the horrors of that night would haunt me forevermore, a chilling reminder of the dangers that lurk in the abandoned places of the world. As I stumbled out of the mansion, my heart racing and my mind reeling from the horrors I had witnessed, I knew that I could never forget what had happened within those walls. The weight of guilt and fear hung heavy on my shoulders, knowing that I had brought Sarah into danger with my reckless pursuit of photography. Haunted by the memory of her disappearance, I wandered aimlessly through the darkened streets, the echoes of her screams still ringing in my ears. Each shadow seemed to conceal a lurking menace, and I couldn't shake the feeling that something was watching me from the darkness. In the days that followed, I searched tirelessly for any sign of Sarah, but she had vanished without a trace, leaving behind only questions and regret. I couldn't bring myself to tell her family what had happened, knowing that they would never forgive me for leading her into danger. Haunted by guilt and grief, I abandoned my photography aspirations, unable to bear the thought of capturing beauty in a world so filled with darkness. The memory of Sarah's laughter and her bright smile haunted my dreams, a painful reminder of the friend I had lost to the shadows. And so, I lived out my days in solitude, haunted by the ghost of the past and the knowledge that some nightmares are too real to ever truly escape. The mansion stood as a silent sentinel on the edge of town, its secrets hidden within its crumbling walls, a grim reminder of the dangers that lurk in the darkness.
If you like my horror sounds, please make sure to like and subscribe if you want to. See you in the next video. Bye.
In the heart of a dense forest, obscured by gnarled trees and creeping vines, loomed the ancient St. Agatha's boarding school. Its imposing facade held secrets whispered among the students, a dormitory shrouded in darkness, where the echoes of the past still reverberated through its halls. I, as a budding journalist seeking to uncover hidden truths, found myself drawn to the school by the allure of its haunted history. Little did I know the horrors that awaited me within those walls. Upon my arrival, the school appeared deceptively serene, bathed in the soft glow of twilight. But as night fell and shadows stretched across the campus, a sense of unease settled over me like a suffocating blanket. Determined to unravel the mysteries of the dormitory, I ventured inside, my footsteps echoing in the empty corridors. The air was thick with a palpable sense of dread, and I could feel the weight of centuries-old secrets pressing down on me. As I reached the dormitory, a chill ran down my spine, and I hesitated at the threshold, overcome by a sudden sense of foreboding. But curiosity urged me forward, and I stepped into the darkness, my heart pounding in my chest. Almost immediately, I felt a presence, a cold, oppressive energy that seemed to envelop me, suffocating me with its malevolence. Shadows danced along the walls, their twisted forms mocking me as I made my way deeper into the dormitory's depths. Then, from the darkness, came a sound, a child's laughter, sweet and innocent yet tinged with a hint of something darker. It echoed through the halls, sending shivers down my spine and setting my nerves on edge. But I pressed on, driven by a desire to uncover the truth, even as fear gnawed at the edges of my mind. Each step felt like an eternity, each shadow a potential threat lurking in the darkness. And then, just as I reached the heart of the dormitory, I saw her, a ghostly figure bathed in moonlight, her eyes filled with sorrow and longing. It was Sarah, the girl who had vanished all those years ago, her spirit trapped within these haunted halls. In that moment, I knew that I had stumbled upon something far more sinister than I could have ever imagined. St. Agatha's dormitory was not just haunted, it was a prison for lost souls, a place where the echoes of the past lingered on, trapped in a never-ending cycle of torment. With a scream, I turned and fled from the dormitory, the echoes of Sarah's laughter following me every step of the way. As I burst out into the night air, I knew that I had narrowly escaped the dormitory's grasp, but I also knew that its secrets would haunt me forevermore. And so, I fled into the darkness, leaving behind the echoes of my own terror, knowing that some nightmares are too real to ever truly escape. As I stumbled out of St. Agatha's boarding school, my heart raced with terror and my mind reeled with the horrors I had witnessed. The cool night air offered little solace, for the darkness seemed to hold secrets of its own, whispering of the terrors that lurked just beyond the edge of my perception. Haunted by the memory of Sarah's ghostly form and the chilling laughter that echoed in my ears, I vowed never to return to that accursed place. But even as I left it behind, I knew that St. Agatha's dormitory would continue to cast its shadow over my thoughts, a reminder of the darkness that dwells within us all. As I made my way back to civilization, I couldn't shake the feeling that something had changed within me, that I had glimpsed a truth too terrible to comprehend. And though I tried to bury the memory of that night deep within my subconscious, I knew that the echoes of St. Agatha's would haunt me for the rest of my days. And so, I left behind the haunted halls of St. Agatha's boarding school, but the despair that lingered within them would follow me wherever I went, a reminder that some secrets are best left undisturbed, and some nightmares are too real to ever truly escape.